Good afternoon and welcome to BizTech's Asian Midday Market Watch. Tina Teng, Markets Analyst at CMC Markets Asia Pacific and Canada, is our guest today, coming out of Auckland, New Zealand. Now, welcome to the show, Tina.
Hi, Brian. How are you?
Good, thank you. Now, before we get your insights, Tina, we're going to take a look and see how crypto markets have performed, and then we'll take a look at how regional stock markets have performed in the first half of the day. We start with Bitcoin, which is at 19,469.4. It's up 4.09%. Ethereum is at 1,354.96. It's up 7.19%. Now, over to regional stock markets. The SGX is down 0.83%. Bursa Malaysia is down 0.36%. Shanghai is down 0.97%. The ASX All Ordinaries is down sharply 2.26%. The Nikkei is down 0.58%. The Hang Seng is down 1%. And rounding up the numbers, we've got the Kospi, which is down 1.72%. Tina, it's a bloodbath across the region. Tell us why.
US Fed raised the interest rate by another 75 basis points, which was expected. However, the Fed guidance was more hawkish than estimated. And also, the Fed official indicated more heavy rate hikes ahead for the rest of the year. I think just the markets got a bit shocked. Especially in the dot plot from the Fed shows that the fund rates may reach as high as 4.35% by the year end, which was like almost 3/4 higher than the previously projected. I think because the rate hikes are accelerating, and also yesterday, like 3 major central banks were very hawkish as well, like Bank of England and Swiss National Bank all raise interest rates as well. The Fed rate hikes actually lead all the other major central banks become more hawkish at their rates. So rapidly rising rates and high inflation, plus the global headwinds like the ongoing Russia war, really just send jitters to the broad markets, and the sentiments were very down.
Yeah. Okay, on the flip side of the equation, we have the Bank of Japan. And tell us about the Bank of Japan intervention and how obviously that contrasts with all other central banks with the exception of China.
Bank of Japan finally intervened the exchange rate. So they are going to buy Japanese yen and sell US dollar because the interest rate was very damaged to the economy. That's why I think they intervened the exchange rate for the first time since 1998, which boosted the Japanese yen. But at the same time, they kept the interest rate at minus 0.1% unchanged last week as well. So I think except for Bank of Japan and the Chinese central bank, the rest of the world actually are raising interest rate. But the divergence moves between the monetary policies of the Western banks and the Asian banks like Bank of Japan and PBOC pushes the US dollar higher, and same time sent the Chinese yuan lower. Now the US dollar, the RMB hits I think the highest level, 7.10, a fresh high since 20 years ago or 2 years ago. Sorry, I just can't remember this rates. I think this accelerating devaluation in the yuan sparks a concern of the Chinese economy as well. Potentially could cause this outflow of the funds of the country. But recently, the PBOC actually they trying to stabilize the yuan as well. But we just can't see this devaluation could stop anytime soon because the US dollar is too strong at the moment.
Now, Tina, on a different note, what surprised a lot of analysts is really the resilience of cryptocurrencies, despite the rate hikes, which we would have thought would have a severe impact on cryptocurrencies. Tell us a little bit on your thoughts on why cryptocurrencies have, particularly Ethereum and Bitcoin, have been much more resilient than we expected.
Actually, crypto markets are surprisingly resilient in the last 2 days. It just stabilized at the recent lows. What I'm thinking, because the cryptocurrencies have dropped so much this year, so I think that traders are probably seeking for a bottom in those cryptocurrencies, and also because the recession fears, the world economy is going into the downbeat. So cryptocurrencies might be seen as something could hold value, or could be an alternative investment apart from those traditional asset classes. I think that's why these markets are showing resilient moves.
Now, Tina, thank you very much for coming on the show, and thank you very much for your insights.
Thank you, Brian.
Now, I'm Brian Fernandez, and we've been speaking to Tina Teng, Markets Analyst at CMC Markets APAC and Canada on BizTech's Asian Midday Market Watch. This interview will be on our website, www.biztech.asia, as well as our social media platforms. It will also be on our syndication partners, TV stations, radio stations, and websites. Thank you very much for tuning in.